So I wonder if you could speak to that, please.
Yeah, so I think so. I think I never really realized I was resilient until that I realized I did. And the TED talk I was talking about was actually I realized it's all about using your strengths. So when I was a student, graduate from Northwestern University, it was 2008, right after Lehman Brothers went bankruptcy. So there was no job anywhere. Before that, my only job was a reporter back in Taiwan. So, but I have a master's degree in marketing and I was looking for marketing jobs at that time. And as someone who barely spoke English, it was really hard. So I would wait outside the building from other department because I wasn't even able to get on campus recruiting for even my own department. So I wait for a different department outside of my own schools and Northwestern University. And as soon as the recruiter came out, I gave him my resume. People would say, "You're crazy. That's extremely hard. Ambush a recruiter. That's crazy." But in fact, it wasn't hard for me because my only job before that was a reporter. That was the only thing I know, waiting people outside and giving my cameras or giving my
Yeah.
microphones, right? So not camera, but giving my microphone.
Yeah.
So when I was using my strengths, I realized I can use it, try again and again. I decided to went on a trip too because someone told me like, "Hey, you know what, the Chicago is really small. Have you heard of New York and LA? They are bigger cities and bigger city has more jobs." So I went on New York and spent time and sleep on different friends' couches for months. And then
Mm.
one day that I really want to go on a conference because people told me that you can meet a lot more people in a conference, which will be a lot more effective. But off conference tickets are very expensive. I decided to call a magazine company back in Taiwan. I said, "This is amazing conference in New York. Do you want someone to cover the story for free?" They said, "Yes." I called the
Wow.
conference. Hi, I'm a reporter from Taiwan. Give me the press tickets. And I got in and got the ticket for free.
Wow.
Again, people think that's crazy. Who would do that? But again, for someone who was a reporter before, covering a story of a conference is pretty easy for me. But because I didn't know what else to do, but I know how to use my strengths. And when you use your strengths, you are not afraid. You want to try again and again because you feel like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. And then you continue going instead of giving up. So again, when I was looking for opportunities, I was very interested in media company because again my only job before was a reporter. So I was thinking that I should do marketing for media company, which was a really bad idea. When was the last
Yeah.
time you see ESPN does marketing? They don't need to do marketing. They are media company. But I didn't know. So I will bought all the newspaper from the newsstand and I cold calling each one of the publisher because of all of the
Really?
newspaper. The in the old time you will show publisher name so and so. If you want advertising, call Paul and I will call this number. Again, people think that's crazy. But for someone who was a reporter before, I do know how to call people and ask them for interview, right? So I got on a lot of information interview and meet with them. But
Yeah.
again, looking back, it wasn't because that I was so resilient. It was just because I was using my strengths. And I'm sure your strengths is different from mine. You might be really good because you are a people person. You might be really good because you are number persons. Maybe you are amazing because you are just full with curiosity. Maybe you are really great because you came from a company with like big company that really well organized has really good SOP. Maybe you came from startup, so you know how to wear multiple hats. Maybe you came from educations that have a family in the medical space, so you know a lot of people in that space. Whatever your resources is different from other people. There's no good or bad. No matter you're from a really wealthy or small blue collar family, your background is different from other people. People who you know, people who you meet, people who are you're familiar with growing up is different from others. And these are all your resources. So I would say
Yeah.
the best way not giving up is use your strengths because you are not feeling that you're out of options. And it's
Yeah.
the idea of trying again and again eventually will get you the end of the tunnel, the light in the tunnel, and you will be very successful.